Rachel Riley has long been admired as a fixture of British television, known for her intelligence, wit, and polished on-screen presence. Audiences have come to associate her with a calm, composed, and confidently cerebral persona, which has earned her enduring respect. Recently, a set of photos circulated online showing a different side of Rachel, catching many people by surprise. The images were neither extreme nor provocative, yet they disrupted expectations and quickly sparked conversation. Social media amplified the moment, turning what was likely a quiet personal expression into a cultural discussion. The intrigue stemmed from contrast, seeing someone known for one consistent image reveal another side. Rachel's subtle shift invited curiosity and reflection, reminding audiences that public personas often represent only a slice of a person's complexity. This incident offers insight into perception, media dynamics, and the balance between professionalism and personal expression in the public eye. The power of contrast is a compelling force in shaping how public figures are perceived. Rachel Riley's career has consistently highlighted her intellect, poise, and professionalism, which became central to her public identity. When she appeared in photos that showed a relaxed, self-assured side, it created a sense of surprise because it gently disrupted expectations. This reaction is less about Rachel herself and more about the simplified narratives audiences often construct about people in the public eye. Public figures are complex, yet viewers often expect consistency, assuming that what they see is the full picture. The photos expanded that narrative, showing that individuals can be multifaceted without betraying the qualities that define them. Moments of contrast capture attention precisely because they challenge preconceived notions, inviting reflection and discussion. In Rachel's case, the quiet confidence she projected made the contrast even more compelling. It was a reminder that subtle shifts in behavior or presentation can be powerful in shaping perception and sparking dialogue. Audience reactions and curiosity. The response to Rachel Riley's photos highlighted the human tendency to be curious about unexpected aspects of familiar figures. Fans paused to examine the images, commentators dissected details, and social media users debated their significance. The curiosity was not rooted in scandal or shock, but in the tension between expectation and reality. People are naturally drawn to moments that reveal complexity because they challenge the mental shortcuts often used to understand public personas. For Rachel, the intrigue became conversation, showing how minor deviations from an established image can carry cultural weight. The responses revealed as much about audience psychology as they did about Rachel herself. Her subtle confidence invited reflection on assumptions, encouraging viewers to reconsider how they perceive consistency, identity, and authenticity. This pattern demonstrates that public engagement is often shaped by surprise, even when it is gentle, and that quiet deviations from expectation can become catalysts for meaningful discussion and reconsideration of broader social attitudes. The role of social media. Social media played a central role in amplifying the discussion around the photos. Platforms are designed to accelerate reactions, whether in the form of admiration, critique, or commentary. Supporters quickly praised Rachel's comfort and self-assuredness, appreciating the authenticity she projected. Critics, meanwhile, questioned why the images were deemed newsworthy, suggesting the attention reflected broader media patterns rather than her actions. The high volume of engagement transformed what could have been a private moment into a public phenomenon. Social media thrives on contrast and novelty, and Rachel's photos provided both in a subtle, relatable form. The conversation quickly expanded beyond the images themselves, touching on identity, societal expectations, and freedom of expression. This demonstrates how collective attention can reshape context, assigning cultural significance to otherwise ordinary moments. In Rachel's case, social media did more than spread images. It reframed them, showing the interplay between personal expression and public perception in the digital age. Celebrating confident supporters embraced the photos as a celebration of confidence and self-acceptance. Rachel Riley's relaxed and authentic demeanor challenged the notion that professionalism requires rigidity. Fans appreciated seeing someone known for intelligence also display ease and self-assuredness, qualities often overlooked in discussions of success. The images resonated because they demonstrated that a person could be competent, composed, and comfortable in their own skin simultaneously. Without offering explanation or commentary, Rachel modeled self-acceptance, sending a subtle, yet powerful message about authenticity. Supporters recognized that confidence does not need to be loud or performative. It can be quiet and steady, attracting attention naturally. This resonated in a culture often obsessed with perfection and public presentation. The admiration for Rachel's confidence reflected a broader appreciation for multifaceted identities and the freedom to embrace complexity without justification. Fans saw her as embodying both intellect and personal freedom, offering a relatable and inspiring example of balanced self-expression. Critical perspectives. Not all reactions were celebratory. Critics questioned why the photos received such attention, suggesting that their significance was amplified unnecessarily. In an era of constant content, ordinary personal expressions are frequently transformed into public talking points, which can feel intrusive or disproportionate. Some critiques focused on the broader media tendency to prioritize appearances over achievements, highlighting persistent patterns of scrutiny, particularly for women in the public eye. By questioning the attention, critics unintentionally exposed social expectations and cultural biases. The debate became less about Rachel herself and more about why society is fascinated by moments that deviate from prescribed public images. These critiques underscore the tension between private expression and public interpretation. They reveal how media amplification can obscure accomplishments and reduce complex individuals to visual moments. Yet, by generating discussion, critical voices contributed to a broader conversation about identity, perception, and societal habits around scrutiny and expectation. Media amplification. Traditional media quickly responded to the online discussion, creating headlines that emphasized drama and contrast. Simple images were framed as moments with potential significance, magnifying their impact. This strategy is a familiar one in journalism, designed to attract clicks and audience engagement. By emphasizing the unexpected nature of the photos, media outlets shaped public perception, potentially overshadowing Rachel's career achievements. Yet media amplification also reflects audience curiosity for human, unscripted content. The headlines offered an interpretation of the images that shaped the broader discussion, turning a quiet display of self-assurance into a cultural talking point. The incident illustrates the double-edged nature of media coverage. It can distort context, but also provide an avenue for deeper reflection on identity, contrast, and societal expectations. In Rachel's case, the media acted as a magnifier, reinforcing the significance that audiences had already begun to assign to the photos, while highlighting the tension between private moments and public narrative. Expectations of women. The incident highlighted persistent societal pressures on women to maintain narrowly defined public identities. Women, particularly those recognized for intelligence or professionalism, are often expected to conform to a consistent image, with deviations provoking surprise or criticism. Rachel Riley's experience reflects this broader challenge. Moments of self-expression outside established roles can be framed as contradictory rather than natural. These rigid expectations limit public recognition of women's complexity and growth over time. The discussion around Rachel's photos served as a reminder that identity is multifaceted and that individuals evolve, explore, and express themselves in diverse ways. Challenging such narrow frameworks can feel uncomfortable, but is necessary for cultural progression. Rachel's subtle display of confidence invited audiences to reconsider ingrained assumptions about how women should appear or behave, providing an opportunity for reflection on the cultural narratives that shape perception of female public figures. The Internet's role. The Internet has a unique capacity to assign meaning to ordinary moments. A simple set of photos may be trivial in isolation, but once shared, commented on, and reframed, they take on broader significance. In Rachel Riley's case, the internet transformed a personal expression into a discussion about perception, identity, and societal expectations. The process reflects the power of collective interpretation, where meaning is co-created by audiences rather than dictated solely by the subject. Reactions are shaped by individual assumptions, cultural context, and biases, amplifying interpretations at remarkable speed. This rapid amplification leaves little room for nuance, yet nuance is essential for understanding the true significance of personal expression. The episode illustrates how digital spaces act as mirrors of cultural attitudes, revealing collective anxieties, curiosities, and values. Rachel's photos became a lens through which audiences reflected on their assumptions, demonstrating the internet's power to turn subtle actions into a broader social conversation. Professionalism and expression. A core theme in the discussion was the perceived tension between professionalism and personal expression. Rachel Riley's reputation for intelligence and composure led some to question whether moments of relaxed self-expression might undermine her credibility. Yet, professionalism does not require rigidity. Competence and self-assuredness are compatible with authenticity. Rachel's long-standing career demonstrates that skill and credibility are not diminished by revealing other facets of oneself. Allowing personal expression can even enhance relatability, showing audiences that expertise coexists with individuality. This moment challenged outdated assumptions about what professionalism looks like, highlighting the arbitrary limits society often places on public figures. Rachel's photos offered a subtle but effective lesson. Individuals can maintain authority, respect, and competence while also expressing personal confidence, illustrating that identity is layered and multifaceted even within professional contexts. Confidence without performance. What made Rachel Riley's appearance striking was the absence of performance. She projected confidence quietly without trying to impress or provoke. This understated assurance draws attention naturally, standing out in a culture that often equates visibility with loud expression. Her demeanor suggested deep familiarity with herself and inner stability unaffected by external judgment. Audiences responded to this authenticity, recognizing it as genuine rather than staged. By refraining from commentary or explanation, Rachel allowed the images to speak on their own, reinforcing a sense of grounded self-worth. This form of quiet confidence communicates as effectively as more overt gestures, demonstrating that composure, authenticity, and self-awareness resonate strongly with audiences. Rachel's subtle approach offers an example of how public figures can embody confidence and self-respect without performing for validation, emphasizing the power of presence over presentation, redefining public conversations. The episode illustrates how public discussions could evolve toward thoughtfulness and empathy. Rather than sensationalizing moments, audiences and media can engage with nuance, appreciating complexity rather than focusing solely on contrast. Rachel Riley's calm handling modeled an approach that trusts context, proportion, and discretion. She neither fueled controversy nor attempted to control interpretation, demonstrating that measured responses can shape discourse positively. This moment offers lessons for broader media culture. Engagement does not need to rely on sensationalism, and appreciation of authenticity can foster richer, more respectful conversations. By modeling quiet confidence, Rachel invited audiences to consider how they consume and interpret public moments, showing that meaningful discourse arises from curiosity, respect, and patience rather than impulsive reaction and judgment. Her experience underscores the value of allowing moments to unfold naturally, providing insight into both individual behavior and collective perception. Conclusion: complexity deserves respect. Ultimately, the attention surrounding Rachel Riley's photos reflected perception and expectation more than the images themselves. Rachel did not abandon her identity as intelligent and professional. She revealed that such qualities are not limiting. The discussion underscored the ongoing tension between public persona and personal reality, while highlighting a growing appetite for authenticity and nuance. Her silence and self-assuredness allowed the moment to unfold without distortion, demonstrating a profound understanding of self-worth. The story emphasized a simple yet powerful lesson. people are allowed to be multifaceted and that complexity deserves acknowledgement and respect. Rachel's experience reminds audiences that confidence need not be performative and that personal expression and professional identity can coexist. By modeling quiet assurance, she encouraged a rethinking of assumptions about public figures and invited society to embrace multidimensionality rather than rigid categorization.